Hey Greensboro, I'm Tori, and this is Trash Talk Tuesday. And today we are talking about compost and mulch. Now, compost and mulch in Greensboro actually starts at your curb. So when you put your yard waste out on the curb properly prepared, our crews are going to come by and pick it up. And when they pick it up, then they're taking it to the landfill to grind it up and turn it into that lovely compost and mulch that you can actually purchase to put right back out on your beautiful lawns. So now we're at the landfill, and at the White Street landfill we do have a composting facility that turns your old yard waste into compost and mulch. Step one is our crews that were out on the street picking everything up. They are going to unload that compost. So you might see that there are trash bags full of leaves or other yard waste in this pile. And the reason is because we do allow residents to bag their yard waste. You can bag it, bundle it, or can it with your own container and place it out on the curb for collection. Step two in our composting operations is we have to unbag and unbundle those materials that you put out on the curb. So we have these crews out here that are taking the bags off, and they are undoing the twine and the bundling. So after all of your yard waste has been unbundled and unbagged, it's going to sit in a large pile until it gets ground up, which is step three in this process. And the reason that we grind it up is so that the bacteria that break down the yard waste into compost and mulch can work better. So just like you might chew your food to make your food into smaller pieces so that your body can extract all of those nutrients easier, that's essentially what we're doing. We're going to chew up that compost a little bit so that when those bacteria and microbes are breaking it down, it's easier for them to do that. After the yard waste has been ground up by this tub grinder, it's going to go up basically this escalator, and it's going to stage in this very, very large pile until it is redistributed into long rows. So step four in this process is probably my favorite. All of this yard waste material that's been ground up is going to sit in windrows. And these windrows are essentially long stretches of basically a triangle shape that is going to allow those microbes and those little bugs that are out here in the environment to break all of that material down into very, very rich compost. And that's really good for your garden. The other really cool thing that happens is this material has to sit for probably 6 to 9 months before it's ready to go back out to your lawns or gardens. And during that time, we have to turn the windrow in order to incorporate oxygen. Because when you're composting, you need carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen in order to make it work. So to incorporate oxygen, we have this amazing machine called a windrow turner. And what it's doing is using those giant steel blades to literally turn the compost and bring the inside to the out and the outside to the in, so that there's more oxygen for those microbes and bacteria. If you're interested in mulch for your lawn dressings or garden dressings, then what happens with this really big stuff behind me is that's going to get ground up, and it's going to be larger pieces so that you have that mulch look to it rather than a very fine compost. And that is going to actually sit in another part of the landfill. And then when residents come in for either compost or mulch, then our operators are going to actually help load that material into your truck or trailer. And we're going to see that next. So this is some really great mulch. And as you can see, it's very mulchy. So the last step in this process is you. And to show you how this works, I asked my husband to help us out. He might have also brought our dog Echo. And so when you come to the compost and mulch facility, you're gonna weigh in on the scales so that we have your empty weight. And then our crews are gonna help you load up, and then you'll weigh out so that we know how much compost and mulch you got, and so that you can pay the fee for that compost. It's a lot less than you might pay at the hardware store, just saying. So I'm really thankful to all of the yard waste crews that help collect yard waste throughout our city, and all of the folks here at the landfill that are processing it into really awesome compost and mulch. And a big thanks to my husband for coming and picking up some mulch for us. Now, if you've got more tough trash questions, including where to come for your compost, what the hours of operation are, and how much it costs, make sure that you download our GSO Collects app so that you can find out what goes where and where you can come and pick up this stuff.